Now, after 10 years of owning my 750R, this bike has never disappointed me. I have so many good rides on it, and I'm looking back on this video over 10 years. One of the things I used this bike for was to develop the camera mounts and eliminate some of the ones I didn't like, keep the ones I do like. For many years I used the side mount and the rear mount, and this has some samples of the footage. But the biggest thing about this bike is it is just a fun bike to jump on a saddle, fill up the gas tank, and spend 3 to 4 hours cruising around, going through the gears. It's got a wonderful sound no matter what muffler I've had on it. And the memories of some of these rides, especially the one stalking the big MV Agusta, a lot of fun. And overall, the time I've had the bike and used it for other things, track days and whatever, one of the things I used it for was to work on different camera mounts, different places to mount the camera. And to some degree I was successful, but not always. Some of these camera mounts, they just didn't float my boat. You just never know when you're going to run into excellence, huh, Pokey?
Hey, I love it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love to hear that.
Hey,
say
Pokey,
it again.
Give him your jacket. He could fix the patches on
He
it.
sews?
I sew. I got a sewing machine,
He's a
sure.
good sewer.
I could write your name on it. Do you like the seat? Who do you think did that, Luciano? Now, when I first restored the bike, everywhere I went, people were looking at it, oogling it. Now that it's been 9, 10 years since I've done that, I don't get as much oogling as I used to. So we wanted to go on, just get some pictures up by the top of West Point. It's definitely not happening, so we're gonna, I guess, just ride around. And 218 was closed. Did you see the head of flares out? And this was from a time when I had the Norton muffler on the bike, and that was a little bit louder than the mufflers that we've had on the bike since then, since we've evil twinned it. Now, some of the camera mounts had different problems with vibration. Some of them had different problems with light reflecting off shiny parts of the fairing, like the side-mounted ones. I had one actually mounted down by the sprocket. You could see the sprocket turning. But I learned a lot from it, and what I learned at the end of it was, I think the best place of all to put the camera mount is right on your jacket. These are cute and fun, but in the future I wanted to impart the idea that you were riding the motorcycle, make it feel like that. And you can see here I had more than one side mount for this, a low one and a high one, and I just was really aggressive. There's a rear mount behind the seat. I had a mount on my helmet at one time that I really wasn't happy about. Of course, my head kept moving around like a bobblehead. I did a lot of these camera mount experiments on all of the bikes, but the biggest one I used was this one. It just seemed like the most convenient amount of mounting places to put the camera mounts. And for many years I had rear mounts on every bike, and sometimes I'd ride with a camera in the front, a camera in the back, And I have already ridden with as many as 3 cameras in the past. But over the years, this bike, and especially with all the camera mounts, it gave me so many choices and so many good ideas for my future videos and how to edit them. Now, some of these older videos, they get really complex because I was shooting from 2 or 3 different cameras. The modern videos, I kind of think they're just a little bit easier to look at, is the right. Now, another reason that I love this bike, and I have 2 of them, of course, and I just can never get bored with this bike. I don't know why. It's nimble. That 16-inch front wheel means it dives into turns real nice. You can still get the Pirelli Sport Demon tires, and they seem to work real good on the bike. I love the engine, and having a spare bike and a spare engine, always a nice factor when you have a bike this old. And having a whole spare set of bodywork in case any of this were to be damaged, or if I just want to convert the whole bike to being red and black again, I can do that probably in one afternoon. Having a spare gas tank that doesn't leak, always another nice thing. And having a spare set of wheels. So what it is I have enough parts on this that I really look forward to having this bike, and hopefully in good condition as I can keep it in, for the rest of my life. And it's a rock solid engine, doesn't burn a drop of oil, and runs like an Indy car. But of course, the most fun you can have is stalking other guys with faster bikes or bigger bikes, and we did that a lot of times. You notice on this day I was recording with a jacket camera and a camera on the side of the bike. I got 2 sets of footage for this, and I had thought about marrying them together, make some kind of fancy footage, but just didn't work out that way. And I remember this day so well. It was cold this day too, if I remember. And you can see there's no leaves on the trees. And I remember we really had a nice run up 106. And of course the problem is this was a weekend, and this time of year is just a lot of cars in the park, and you just got to be super careful. And the roads, you can see the roads are still a little wet in spots. Now we had a great afternoon with our friend with the MV Agusta F4. That is one beautiful piece of equipment. At the end of this ride, we stopped and looked at each other's bikes, and this was about as nice as it gets. And my old bike, what can I say? I kind of like the way it looks too. And that Camaro green, holy mackerel, that paint has stood the test of time. I thought maybe after a year I'd want to put the red bodywork on. I don't know. Having an extra set of wheels, so convenient. Just there's one convenience after another when you have a parts bike. That's the whole thing. And that 16-inch front wheel, I'm not sure I wish I had that on other bikes, but that bike just turns in so effortlessly. Hard to describe. Another nice thing about the bike that doesn't go unnoticed, it's a low bike, so it's easy to get on and off. It doesn't sit way up high where you always feel like you need a ladder to get on a bike. And the risers I made make it as comfortable as can be. So 10 years later, well, it's more than 10 years actually, I just look back at this and all I have is really, really great memories.